So tell us about Pitchfest, which you came here for.
Well, I came here for a lot of reasons. I have a lot of authors here, and Thriller Fest has always been a very good organization, and it draws a lot of wonderful talent from all over the country. Yeah, Pitchfest itself is kind of grueling for agents, I will say, because we sit there for a long time and listen to so many stories, and everybody has so many stories, you know.
Right.
But it's really nice to. For me, it recharges my batteries, so to speak, because I get probably 100 queries a day, easily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, easily. I've been doing this 23 years. So at Kimberley Cameron and Associates, we really, and I have 5 agents now working with me. So you can imagine the amount of queries we get.
Right. So you personally get 100 queries a day?
Much. Oh, easily, yeah. So what I'd like to do at Thriller Fest especially, and different conferences, is that when I get to talk to people about their stories and really one-on-one listen to them, they're really much more interesting that way. So I kind of connect with the author itself, and you have some eye contact, and you know, and then pretty much I invite people to do the usual query, which is a polite, nice, business-like query, because we don't want to waste anybody's time or ours. And we take every query very seriously, because we know that a writer's life is kind of lonely, like an agent's, and that's why these things like Thriller Fest are so great, because they put all this talent together. And wonderful things happen. I've found authors at Thriller Fest before.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
I've found authors, I've found publishers, I've found lots of great talent. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's probably really nice to get out of the office and meet the authors and publishers face to face.
Exactly, and in New York too, especially. New York is where it happens in publishing. Yeah. And I was just here 3 weeks ago with a very important senator, and we were selling her memoir. And I had an auction, and it went very well. So I've seen New York a lot lately.
Yeah,
and I will continue to come to Thriller Fest, because it's really a good place.
Yeah. How many years have you been at Thriller Fest so far?
I think I've been 3 years. I went through the very first one, and then I always had things come up in the summer, so I kind of couldn't do it. And then my client, Doug Lyle, kind of twisted. He says, "You have to go to Thriller Fest." So last year I went, and I remembered how fabulous it was, and it's grown like crazy. And really, it's just a wonderful place for a writer to see how the publishing business works, and hear different speakers, and really know the business.
Yeah, and everyone here is so nice and welcoming.
Really, it's a supportive group, especially mystery writers and thriller writers. It's a very supportive community, and everybody wants to help out the first debut writer. I mean, there was a breakfast this morning of 20 or 30 writers that just all got published for the first time.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting. That's always the thrill for me, is getting a new voice out there. Yeah.
And now, going back to query letters, what do you like to see and not like to see in a query letter?
Well, they always ask this question, what is your dream client? And I'll tell you my client from hell. You know, we get queries sometimes that just are not professional. Like I've gotten some that say, "Hey, knucklehead," and "How much jingle can you get me for an advance?" I mean, that just wastes my time.
Do you think they're trying to stand out, or maybe they have some misinformation that they're supposed to make themselves stand out? Do you think that's the only motivation I could think for?
You know, I don't really know what motivates some writers to do what they do, but the ones that I pay attention to are businesslike, professional, and they give me a little bit of the writer, so I know who this person is writing me. And I always say a query letter is like a calling card. It's an introduction to a relationship. Because with writers, if you have a relationship with I have had clients for 15 to 20 years, and it goes on, it's like a marriage. So we're really looking to connect in some way, and it's just an introduction to your work. You know?
Right. So there's no pressure for them to feel like they have to be super creative in the query letter.
No, I would shy away from that. Just be you, is what I'd say.
And what is the best way to get in touch with you? Do you have all that information on your website for how authors?
Yes, I have a website that lists all the agents in the agency. I still am looking for new voices all the time, so I like the thrill of finding a new voice. And you can go to www.kimberley, with an L-E-Y, Cameron, Cameron.com.
Nice. And do you have any advice for someone who wants to do what you do?
As an agent?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of interns over the years that just wanted, writers that wanted to learn the business, and they learned so much in publishing. So I've had agents just kind of spring out of that pot, so to speak. So, and now they're doing well, and they're agents in themselves. And it's a wonderful way to spend your life.
You get to read.
You get to read all the time, and also starting people's careers is just really, really fulfilling.
Yeah. Do you ever read for fun, or do you read so much for work that it's...
I sneak. I sneak a book once in a while, just because after reading, I've always got homework. I have manuscripts and manuscripts.
How many manuscripts would you say you read a day or a week?
Oh my gosh, probably a week. I'll look at 10, probably really carefully.
Yeah.
And we edit too as agents. So when I read something like a manuscript that I want to pay attention to, I go through it very carefully. So it's slow reading,
Yeah.
But I can sneak a book every once in a while.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us.
You're welcome, and good luck to all the writers out there.
Yeah.